we do here is go back.
Hey, everybody. Yes, the comeback is real. Not a rerun. This is not pre-recorded. This is live. Welcome back, guys, to Tuned In Live. After months of being on hiatus from the podcast, finally making a comeback. Today, I am doing a solo episode. I'm going to get with Mike, talk with Mike, see what he wants to talk about in future episodes, get all that stuff taken care of. Account access expired. That must be for Kick. Because, of course, I'm streaming through Restream.io. And I know I have talked about Restream in the past. It was something that I used to do when it came to streaming the podcast. Yes, I am back to it, so no longer streaming through Labs. I'm streaming through Restream.io. Guys are big streamers. If you want to start streaming, if you want to start podcasting, but you don't have the time to stream to more than one platform, if you want to do 2 or 3 at a time, check out Restream.io. Sign up for a free account on Restream, and your free account will get you 2 platforms that you could stream on at the same time. So, like right now, I am live on YouTube and I am live on Twitch. Damn, I had to blow the dust off of Twitch. I haven't used Twitch in I think a couple months. I think the last thing that I streamed on Twitch and YouTube was Call of Duty, and that stream should still be up. If it's not up on Twitch, it's up on YouTube. So yeah, welcome back, guys. Yes, today's episode of Tuned In Live is titled "Is Physical Media Making a Comeback?" And also, I'm going to have two different topics today to talk about. So physical media and the dangers of AI. Yeah, AI it feels like it's becoming more self-aware. And it's not just like in the movies, like you see a lot of going on in the movies. But yeah, it's definitely today's going to be an interesting episode. No, there's not going to be any political talk. I think politics can really get you heated up, especially depending on what you talk about. Like, I do welcome politics. Like, I know my co-host Mike, you know, he's heavy into politics, as I was. And I'm just like, there's just too much going on for me to even get into and talk about when it comes to politics. So, I figure, you know, do something a little different. I will say, however, before I get into it, first things first, I do have a new segment for the channel that I pre-recorded last night, and I'm going to be pre-recording a lot of them for the channel from here on out, and I'm going to make them public. I'm going to debut them every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not from the Baltimore area, if you're not from Maryland, you probably won't even get this. You probably won't even understand. But on the 12th, August 12th, 2 nights ago, I saw the end of one of our grandest classic rock music stations sign off for the final time. And that was 100.7 The Bay. And that station, well, the station's been around since 1955. It's undergone a bunch of different programming changes over the last 60 years or so. I want to say about 60 years. And I think one of the longest station changes that took place, that lasted the longest, I want to say, was when it turned into the Bay, classic, Baltimore's classic rock. And that came into play in 1999. So almost 30 years. Almost 30 years. It's been about 26, 27 years for that station, Baltimore's classic rock. You know, I was listening to it when I was in high school, after I graduated. That station was a staple on my radio, no matter if it was a stereo or my car radio. That station was a staple. You know, they were playing classic rock from the 70s and the 80s. And I guess as time grew on, they were starting to play music from other genres or other eras that are considered classic rock today. Like, who'd have thunk? I would hear Metallica's Black Album on a classic rock station? I'm like, God damn. Metallica's now considered classic rock. You got that. You got stuff from the 90s that were playing on this station for the last 5 or so years. You know, you had like fucking Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Metallica, Green Day. Anything from the 90s, it's like, wow, it's now considered classic rock? Holy shit. That just boggles my mind, you know? To know that stuff was playing on this station. And I was listening to it, you know, for quite some time, like I said. And I want to say I just didn't take enough time to appreciate the station. So my microphone's working now. I just didn't have enough time to appreciate it much, you know? Like, I listened to it a lot, but then, like, I haven't really much, especially, like, because I've been listening to a lot of Sirius XM. And don't get me wrong, Sirius XM, they have a lot of nice stations on there. A lot of nice, you know, everybody's had Sirius XM for, God, what, 30 years or something like that? And they got a lot of nice channels on there that you know, they do music, they do podcasting, they have talk shows on there, and I get my subscription through my mobile carrier, so I don't have to worry about paying out of pocket for it. Add it to my my cell phone bill every month. So I've been listening to a lot of different channels on Sirius XM. You know, classic rock, heavy metal, oldies, pop, anything of that nature. You know, like, I don't listen to a lot of new stuff today because they're getting into an era where it's like, this is how our parents felt when music changed, and and us millennials were growing up in the 80s and the 90s or whatever. We're listening to stuff like Metallica, Alice in Chains, Korn, Limp Bizkit, and shit. And our parents like, what the hell is this shit you fucking listening to? Goddamn little bastards and stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty sure their parents were the same way, you know. Like, there's always a change in music where, you know, parents, and now you're the parent, and you're growing out of that phase of certain music, you know, and you're like, I'm going to stick with my old stuff. That's basically what I do, you know. But the classic rock scene, I grew up with it, you know. I grew up listening to oldies. I grew up listening to classic rock, pop, and all that stuff, you know, throughout the 60s, 70s. And 80s, you know. I didn't really get into like the 90s music until like high school. But, you know, I'm open to a lot of different genres, a lot of different open bands and such. But I will say, like, whenever there was like really nothing to listen to, you know, 100.7 The Bay was one of those stations that was there for a lot of people in the Baltimore area. And I do got to say, you know, this station has been around for so long. I've listened to it countless times. And they finally sold the station. A station called K Love bought the station out, and they went live at midnight last night, which was not last night, but 2 nights ago. You know, April 3rd, the morning of August 13th. So 100.7 Bay, they ended at 11:59 p.m. 12th, and K Love is nothing but, I guess, contemporary Christian-based music. So yeah, it's a Christian station. It's a Christian. Yeah, yeah. So you can imagine what you're gonna be listening to, like Christian music. You probably got Bible services and stuff like that on there. So it's a religious station that I turn to. I mean, I guess different music stations. They last for so long, and then they transition over to, I guess, something else for a more broader audience. Try to bring something else in, for different audience of people, whatever. I mean, I get it, I get it. But for a lot of the cast and crew of 100.7 The Bay, they were saying their goodbyes throughout the entire day during their shows. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of tearful moments. Some of those hosts, some of those DJs, I follow them now on YouTube, like Mike Brillhart and Huber, who was Huber in the morning show. So I follow them on YouTube. I also follow them on Twitter as well. Keep up with them. And they're supposed to have an app that's coming to mobile phone called Bay Rock, I think it is, that people can download so they can still have that experience of the classic, Baltimore classic rock feel, that kind of thing. So they were all just, they were having a great old time. And the final hour, let me tell you about the final hour. It's hilarious that how it ended, how the show ended, because you have a religious based station taken over at midnight, all Christian music, right? So what better way to have the final hour of the Bay being the theme of heaven and hell? It's hilarious. I gotta read you the set list for this shit because it was heaven and hell based. And so the set list started at 11 o'clock. It started with Van Halen's Running with the Devil, then Temple of the Dog, Say Hello to Heaven, AC/DC, Hell's Bells, Guns N' Roses, Knocking on Heaven's Door, Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper, Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, Black Crowes, He Talks to Angels, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, REM, Losing My Religion. And you know what's funny about that? Even though the titles is like called Losing My Religion, when I think it was like not an article, but we were asked to write like a little essay in music class in 12th grade, where the teacher was like, "Can you explain the true meaning without looking it up? Explain the meaning of what losing my religion is," and it has nothing to do with religion. That's funny that they chose that song for the set list, even though it has nothing to do with religion, it has nothing to do with Christianity or anything like that. It's just in the title, "Losing My Religion." I just thought I'd throw that out there. And then you had Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones, and of course it ended with the last two, AC/DC, Highway to Hell, and of course Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. And I seen somewhere recently where they said like Stairway to Heaven was the perfect closure because that's how there was a movie that they played it in, and that's how they closed the movie out or something with Stairway to Heaven. But that was a perfect set list for a whole hour, and that was the final one. And if you guys want to check out the last 15 minutes of that show, I do have it uploaded on my channel. You guys can check that out. It's like the last 15 minutes where they play those last two songs. And I think it hit hard when I think it was Mike Brillhart that was doing that show. I can't remember if it was him or not. When he said his last goodbye, when he was like good night and farewell or something like that, and then they played Stairway to Heaven, and right as the song ended, there was just this uncomfortable silence. And I wasn't listening to it on the stereo. I was listening to it on my phone. I was on their website listening to it. So I guess they transitioned over, or it took them a few minutes to transition over to the other station, which recently took over. But it was just this uncomfortable silence where you're like, man, this is so heartbreaking. Like that, they played the last song, and that was it. Everything was just quiet. So it was a little depressing, especially for a lot of people. But if you do look up on YouTube, 100.7 The Bay last 2 hours, there's actually people that have recorded the last 2 hours of the broadcast. I have it downloaded as well on my computer. So if you guys are from the Baltimore area, you can just look that up in the search engine and check that out. But yeah, people have the last 2 hours of that broadcast uploaded, and I only got maybe the last 15 or so minutes. I was originally going to do like a YouTube short of it, which, well, it was filmed that way of the final moments, but I'm glad I got the last 15 minutes because it just ended in a way that I didn't think it was going to end. But anyway, like, with that radio station going under, and like I said, I know people will be like, it's just a radio station. It ain't shit. There's you could find that kind of music anywhere else online. You got like Sirius XM, you got Amazon Music, this and that, da 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 da. But here's the thing: when you've grown up listening to a radio station, or even watching like a TV station, a TV channel, anything of that nature, something you grew up with, something that you resonate with, for so long. Like, I've been listening to the station since I was like in high school. I graduated from middle school in I think 99 to 2000, and then I went to the high school. So I was listening to that station for that long. Something that's been around for a long time with you, and it's like, damn, it's actually coming to an end. But I will say there was two segments on that show, well, not on the show, but on the station, and one of them was every weeknight from Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. They had this segment called, I think it was like 10 p.m. or 11. It might have been 11. I can't remember. It was either 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. They had a segment called Vinyl Frontier, where they would pick a random artist, a random album, the whole vinyl album from that artist. Like, let's say they pick Metallica's Kill 'Em All. They would play Kill 'Em All, for about a half hour to an hour. Nothing but the songs from that album. That's what they call the Vinyl Frontier, Or even like rare vinyl records from bands you don't hear anymore, that kind of thing. So that was a treat listening to that. But another segment that they had on there, and I want to take over. I want to. I even called them out on YouTube. I called them out on Twitter, and I said, "Hey, I just pre-recorded the first episode of this. I want to be able to like carry that torch on, in a sense. Especially for people in Baltimore who miss that segment. If that was your favorite segment, then you're in for a treat, because I want to take it over and just kind of do it. Like I already pre-recorded one episode of it, and that is Get the Lead Out. Now I understand Get the Lead Out is it's a cover band or tribute band to Led Zeppelin. I already know that, so don't hate on me too much for that. I already know that that's because I even looked it up. But there was a segment on the show on the station every Friday night at 10 p.m. called Get the Lead Out, and it was a half-hour show. They did a little bit of history talk, like with the different records, with its songs. They played live stuff, they played album stuff, they played rare stuff, unreleased, whatever. And that's what it was. This is like classic Led Zeppelin. Every Friday night. And you will listen to it for a half hour. So I already got one episode of that pre-recorded. I did that last night, and you guys will be able to see that tonight on the channel. I will publish it at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for you guys. You can check it out. I already got it uploaded. It's just unlisted, because I know YouTube's going to try to flag it, copyright and all. But I've already got things on the channel that have been copyrighted, and it's like, you know what? I'm not making money off of it. I don't want to make money off of it. I don't want to monetize it. It's just something I want to put out there. It's something I want to do, so you guys can check that out as well. Yeah, I already got it. I'm just making sure my audio is coming through. I know it's fucking up on Jeff's end last weekend, but yeah, so that's it. You know, so like I said, Get the Let Out premieres tonight on our YouTube channel, Arrow Entertainment, 10 p.m. Don't miss out. Like I said, if you guys want to check out the last 15 minutes of that segment from the show, from that music station, it's uploaded on the channel as well. So, the second thing I'll talk about here, and I know I got a little bit into it, like, 20 minutes talking about that. So, another thing I want to talk about real quick, if you guys don't follow my boy Jeff, check out his channel, Jeff Explores, on YouTube. I'll be live with him tomorrow at some point. His revival of his OG podcast, Trigger Podcast, and it was a podcast that he ran, that he hosted about 10 years ago. I want to say, yeah, about 10 years ago, or almost 10 years ago, he hosted it, and he had a couple co-hosts on there. I'm not going to mention their names. Well, I'm not going to mention this. The one person I'm not going to mention his name because he's practically harmless. Anything to, but the other one has been quite the troll recently. And I will say, Jeff and I have made him cry several times. Like this kid, he tried to, I want to say he tried to hack or delete things out of my Discord. Like he got in my Discord somehow, and all he did was fucking delete posts in the main hangout in the Discord. That's all he fucking did. So when a buddy of mine on here, a fan, Bird Dog, he pointed it out. So I went in there, I blocked him, stopped him dead in his tracks, and I put Discord on lockdown. So he has no access to it. Nobody has no access to it unless I give you a link to it. Oh, he was pissed about that. And I think, so he's trying to say that it is his brand, that it's his podcast. But the thing is, Jeff was the main host. Everybody 10 years ago, when they flocked to watch Trigger Podcast on YouTube, including me, we were there for Jeff. Jeff was the host. He was the star. You know, you had his other two co-hosts. One of them, the one I'm really talking about, oh, he was fucking worthless. You would hear him once in a while, but most of the time you would hear his fucking keyboard clacking in the background. You know, like, oh, you can't hear it. It's not even picking up on the phone. It was like clickety clack. His fucking keyboard and shit. That's all you would fucking hear. And of course, one other co-host, he would talk, but that guy, I do gotta say it, and a lot of people have come out and said his co-host was boring as hell. Like, sometimes he had interesting topics that, if they were interested in talking about it, like if they really wanted to push it, yeah, they were interesting, but for his type of podcast, I guess it just wasn't material for that. But not just that, the guy was kind of dull and boring to listen to, like, it's like you would either sit there and fall asleep, or you just turn it the fuck off and go watch something else, that kind of thing. But everybody was there mainly for Jeff. Jeff was the star of the show. Jeff has that charisma for his podcast, especially with his prank call segments. Like, everybody was flocking to say, hey, who you going to prank today? Can you prank call this person? Can you prank call this place? That kind of thing. Yeah, Jeff, he was the star of the show, so it's like, this is his show. And this other kid who has his channel, I did a video on him a while back, I think about 3 years ago. He's still pissed about that. He tried to flag it, but his thing didn't go through. So very unfortunate for him. But he hates the fact that people talk about him, talk about his channel, because it hurts his brand. It hurts his brand. Like, dude, you're what, 22, 23 years old right now. You've dropped out of fucking high school. You've never been to fucking college. You're a dimwit. Like, the dude had to ask one of Jeff's other co-hosts to help him with his fucking math homework or some shit. That's how idiotic this guy is. You know, but he sits there and claims, oh, I'm really good with production quality. My production quality is really good. Da 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 da. Yeah, your production quality is really good, but where's your show at? But now he's trying to make a comeback. He's trying to say that it's his show, Triggered's under his name, this and that. But it's not. It really is not. So, for the last 3 or so weeks, he has been trying to bring his podcast back, having the other co-host from the old show to host it, right? And he's been trying to set it up. But unfortunately, because and I were streaming and other things were coming to a rise or whatever for him, and he kept canceling it out. So if I go back on his main triggered, let's see, he's got a Discord up. He's saying his Discord community is growing. Yeah, it's growing. People, you could join the Discord, right? Well, guess what? I silently joined his Discord for a few moments, and I got screenshots of it. He's got a total of 7 to 8 people in there, and they are all drama shit stirring losers. That's all they are. 7 to 8 drama stirring shit losers, and that's all he has. It's like your Discord is growing, but you only got like 7 people in there. But if you want to compare, all right, if you want to compare how many people you have in a Discord, okay, so my Discord it has 50. I mean, it's not fucking big and flaunting and all, but you know, God, like, you don't want to fucking falsely promote yourself, you know, false information. Like, hey, we're growing. People go in there and only see like fucking 2 people, you know. So 2 to 3 weeks ago, okay, August 7th, that was last week. Okay? But even before that, but he don't have that post up right now. So last week, Jeff and I were streaming last Saturday, and this kid, he posted on the Twitter, due to unforeseen circumstances, Triggered has been delayed until next Friday. We're committed to delivering the best show possible, but we need a little more time to make sure we get it right. The work continues, but we can't wait to show you what we've been working on. What they've been working on was nothing, because the one co-host wants nothing to do with anything drama related. He wants to do a stream. Well, in a way, if he wants to do a live stream himself, he should do it himself and not rely on some idiot kid who wants to bring him back as like a revenge role to say, oh yeah, well, our podcast is better than yours. Like, who fucking cares, dude? Just do something if you want to do something. When he's talking about he's got great production quality and shit, his production quality is garbage. I mean, we're talking about a guy who does GTA 5 videos, scamming kids, telling them, hey, do you want comments pinned? I'm giving away shark cards. Top comment gets this free shark card. How the fuck you give away a shark card? You can't give away a shark card because a shark card is in-game digital currency for Grand Theft Auto 5. You can't give away shark cards. You can, however, give away PSN cards or Xbox cards that have the currency that can get you those shark cards, but nobody ever gets a code. Nobody ever gets it. That's what people don't understand. So this guy, he scams people with garbage Grand Theft Auto videos. He scams them. He actually scammed. It was a few years ago. We'll actually talk about that tomorrow on Jeff's show if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, he tried to scam somebody during a live show with a console giveaway, and nobody won the console. Nobody got the console. And it was for a PS4, I think it was. That's just fun. But yeah, so then there's this other tweet the same night. We're seeing a lot of excitement for about Triggered returning. There was no excitement at all. There was no excitement at all for this return of this kid's podcast. He's like, a few points to note. Live stream will be on both YouTube and on X. Yeah, good luck doing that, because I've tried streaming on Twitter. And there's a lot of red tape to go through, and it doesn't really go through. Call-ins will be available via Discord. Join now to get verified. Yeah, you only have like one or two people who are going to call in, and they're both fucking losers. Triggered is a 100% no drama stream, yet the one that wants to bring it back is 100% drama. Then on the 8th, which was last Saturday, guys, Triggered Episode 1 is coming soon. Triggered returns a decade. Oh, and then there's the Trigger community is growing. Yeah, growing my fucking ass. So then, this is where Jeff and I start trolling him on Discord. And he sees our comments. He sees mostly my comments. And he's got these little things posted like, every time Trigger goes live. Oh, am I drama? Talking about, I guess, F's Trigger podcast? I have no idea. So then after Jeff goes live last week, so on the 11th, this came. Scam warning. There is only one Triggered podcast. Unfortunately, there are several impersonators out there with less followers and subscribers attempting to rip us off. Wow. So he's trying to say that there's impersonators. Who wants to impersonate your brand? Who wants to impersonate your brand? Are you guys doing a stream on Haggie's channel today? What's going on? Flow Sin State. Actually, Jeff is going to go live tomorrow, I believe it is. Today he has something going on. But he's definitely going live tomorrow. And I think we're going to be talking about who I'm talking about right now, which is hilarious. But yeah, we will be definitely going live talking about that. If not talking about that, the original topic was going to be the Gettysburg tapes, talking about our trips to Gettysburg. So definitely keep an eye on that. But yeah, going back to this idiot who's running the Triggered Podcast Twitter page, trying to say that there are several impersonators. Impersonating what? Your garbage brand? Then on the 13th, which was yesterday, as a reminder, Triggered is a no drama stream. Anyone engaging in drama will be blocked from our channels. Thank you. Yeah, okay. 23 hours ago, Triggered returns this Friday, live exclusively on so-and-so's channel. Yeah. But then you have a gift posted saying, why are you so obsessed? Yeah, we're obsessed, but yet this kid was so obsessed with Jeff and I. Anything that Jeff posted, this kid was so obsessed with. Jeff said he was going to come back and bring his Twitter back. This kid was so obsessed. Here's how obsessive he is, all right? Not only does he pay attention to everything that Jeff does on his channel, but this kid falsely promotes this attorney that doesn't exist named Melanie. He claims he's a personal attorney named Melanie. The kid's fucking 22 or 23 or whatever the fuck old he is. He has no knowledge in the field of law and order. He has no knowledge in that whatsoever. So he's pretending to be an attorney named Melanie, sending out these shit emails to Jeff. And Jeff tells me about them. He sends out emails to Jeff talking about how he's going to sue him and shit. It's fucking hilarious. Like, dude, the kid has no fucking life. He's like, oh, I'm going to sue you. You better stop hurting my client's brand, Mr. Tutorials. That's your fucking channel name, Wit. You call him Mr. Tutorials. Mr. Tutorials. Dude, your name is Jeffrey Zatz. Jeffrey Zatz. I think my boy Jeff said, ironically, both their names are Jeff. But I think he says that his dad's name is Dimitri or something. I don't know if his dad has like a good paying job or whatever. But he's one of those spoiled kids where Anything he wants, Daddy will get him. That's what it is. Daddy will give it to him. Daddy gave this kid a credit card one day, told him to go buck wild. And what does he do? He buys followers and subscribers on YouTube, buys followers on Twitch and on Twitter and shit. Because this was 10 years ago, guys. Jeff will explain this tomorrow. When Tutorials created a Twitter account for Twitter. And it's the same one, the Trigger Podcast one. The Trigger Podcast one. But he created this account 10 years ago, and it's still active, of course. He bought 5,000 Twitter followers. I'm surprised they're still there, but I think the originally for one of them, he bought followers for, and Twitter took them all away. Because Jeff said when he went to his Twitter, he's like, God damn, you got that many followers already overnight? Ain't no fucking way. He bought them because Twitter took them back. So then he lost all those fucking followers. But he still does it to today. He bought all his subscribers on YouTube. He's got like 130,000 subscribers, whatever. But he bought them all. Then he complained. He bitch and complained because YouTube didn't send me my YouTube play button for 100K subscribers. Well, dude, they're not all legit. You bought the motherfuckers. They're not going to send you a play button for phony fucking subscribers. But that's what this kid's mind is. You know, he has he just like, I want a trophy. I want a trophy for this. You know, he's looking for a trophy for something that he didn't really put much effort into. But I'm going to read this last tweet from him. This is absolutely hilarious. So, after 2 to 3 weeks of this kid saying that him and his buddy, who was supposed to be the main host, were going to go live and do their first episode and all, that they were ready. They were ready. It was coming this Friday. It's coming next Friday. We're ready. Well, yesterday he posted, after several delays and a lot of work behind the scenes to try to make everything come together, we've made the decision to indefinitely delay, triggered due to ongoing scheduling conflicts. He doesn't... Oh, okay. I'm going to finish reading this, and I'm going to come back to what he said by indefinitely. This isn't the announcement we wanted to make. We. It's not we. Like, the other guy could care fucking less. It's you, but you want to say we. Okay. We've been incredibly excited to bring this show to life, and we know there are people who have been looking forward to finally seeing what we've been working on. No, they haven't. They just want to get both of you fucking idiots in a live stream so they can ask you questions about trauma shit. That's all they wanted. To be clear, Triggered is not gone, but you just stated, Triggered is indefinitely delayed. Don't you know what fucking indefinitely is? Look at that. Let me look that up. What does definite mean? Definitely means for an unknown or unspecified period of time. Now, yeah, it doesn't mean forever, but that's like when people say they're going to definite hiatus. And people usually, like bands, when they usually say I'm going on an indefinite hiatus, usually means they're not going to do anything anymore. Didn't even know you were live. What's going on? Yeah, I wasn't sure if you saw the posting on Twitter or anything, me going live. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going a little bit into talking about Tesla Boy real quick before I talk about the main topics. Tesla is Hoyt. Yeah. Well, I was actually talking to Hoyt. He because he was telling me, yeah, tutorials. So I guess he doesn't care for tutorials. You know, he just doesn't. You know, he does talk to Tyndall. I guess he's not too bad about fucking tutorial. You were napping, you just woke up. Oh, okay. That part's 100% true. Would have been non drama questions. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, Hoyt, I talked to you on Twitter already. Yeah, I know you still talk to Tyndall. You have nothing against Tyndall, but Tutorial's always been an issue. He's always been an issue, no matter what it was. He always tried to be like the forefront of the show, but he's in the background. But right now, he's trying to be the forefront of it and bring in such and such in to be the forefront for him. But all he's doing is he's just trying to be like, oh, well, my stream's going to be better than Jeff Explorer's. It's going to be better than his. Like, okay, where's your show at? Where's your show at, Tesla Boy? Where's your show at? It's nowhere. Just like saying with this statement that he made yesterday again, continuing on with it. We fully intend to return at a later date when the timing is right and everyone involved can give the show what it deserves. When we have something concrete to share, you'll hear it from us. In the meantime, we want to thank everyone who has followed along. Everyone, yeah, two fucking people supported the project. Nobody supported the fucking project. They wanted you to go live so they could talk shit on you. Asked about the show. Nobody asked about the fucking show. Nobody asked for you to do it. He just wanted to do it because Jeff was like one day, he's like, you know what? I want to bring back my Trigger podcast. That's what it was. I mean, Jeff and I, we could talk about it more tomorrow. But yeah, Jeff wanted to bring it back. He wants to, I want to do the Trigger podcast. I want to bring it back just to see what the fuck he does, And of course, it fucking he fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. He's like, oh, I'm gonna bring back the original. There is only one Trigger podcast. Yeah, one supporter. But yeah, he wants to sit there and say, oh, we want to thank people who supported the project, asked about the show. Nobody really asked about it, like I said, and patiently endured every update and delay. Nobody patiently endured. Nobody even cared, really. Nobody cared about Tutorial's Triggered podcast. Nobody asked for it. Nobody really wants it. Nobody really fucking cares. And then he puts in the end, and of course, a very special thank you to the losers and haters for their support. Your dedication has not gone unnoticed. This may not be the update we hope to share, but the story of Triggered is. I like how he put a very special thank you to the losers and haters, which of course would be, Jeff and I. It would be Jeff. Oh shit! Wow. And it's funny, all the stuff that Jeff and I have been saying over the last few days, couple weeks or whatever, and this is how would it come to, supposed to go live. He was supposed to put this first episode up and shit, but you know what? It ain't gonna happen. Even Jeff called it. I know you're still in the chat, Jeff. 2 days ago, you called it. You said he ain't going to live watch. He's going to be some excuse or some announcement where there's going to be a reason why he ain't going live. And I saw the posting yesterday. I screenshot. I sent to you. I said, "Yep, you called it. You definitely called that one." For the last 3 weeks, Jeff Tutorial's Triggered podcast was supposed to be live. And now it's on indefinite hiatus, basically. He calls it a delay. A delay? What fucking delay, dude? It's a hiatus. You didn't even get the fucking chance to start something. It's already on fucking hiatus, And then you're going to talk about scheduling conflicts. Scheduling conflicts? Well, gee, the guy you want to bring on there, he used to do Saturday nights with Jeff back in the day. So what happened? Did he get a new job where he's working weekends now or something? Like, you're talking about scheduling conflicts. Like, wow. Yeah. But that's just hilarious. That's really hilarious. This kid, he thought he was going to get under our skin, but I think the final nail in the coffin which pushed. I want to say this. It literally pushed, and we'll talk about this tomorrow on Jeff's channel. And I think what it was, I had this idea getting into the first topic of the show today. Because Jeff and I, we've been making a lot of these thumbnails, these AI thumbnails for our videos and shit. And of course, there's another loser out there to copy it too because, well, he's a big fan. He's a loser fan, but he don't want to admit it. But we've been making thumbnails, using Chat GPT. And I took a picture of tutorials and I took a picture of the other guy. And I meshed them together. I said, okay, create a YouTube thumbnail of us kissing for our podcast. And sure enough, it was fucking perfect. It's still up on my Twitter feed if you check it out. It's fucking hilarious. And I told Jeff, I was like, should I post this? And I was like, really, should I post this? And this was before I put it up, right? And I got to go back. Should I post this? And he said, yeah, but they will probably make ones of us and say we're obsessed, but fuck it. So I posted it. I gave Jeff a good laugh. And shortly after that, that's when Tutorials posted his comment stating that they were on indefinite hiatus. I'm like, wow. Like, this dude, he was so badly wanting to do something with the other guy. And I know it was all drama. It's going to be drama related. It was all going to be drama related. He was hoping to get the other guy on board, I guess. And the other guy's like, look, I want to bring it back, but I don't want any kind of drama. I do not want drama on this channel. But that's all Tutorials wanted. That's all Tutorials wanted was drama. And he didn't get it. So if you guys want to hear more stories, if you want to hear more of that, I don't know, Jeff, if you want to talk more on that tomorrow. But if you do, guys, make sure you follow Jeff's channel, Jeff Explores, and we'll talk more about the tutorial, or I guess the Tesla files. I guess we can call them the Tesla files tomorrow on Jeff's channel on the real Trigger Podcast with the real OG host. Because that's what it is. That's the OG. Like I said before, the original Triggered Podcast was forefronted by Jeff himself. He was the main host. Everybody was there for him. Everybody was there for Jeff. They weren't there for Tutorial or really the other guy. They were there for Jeff. So if you guys want to check out the Revival Podcast with Jeff, follow his channel, Jeff Explore. So, speaking of AI, and like I said, Jeff and I, we have been using this app called ChatGPT. And it's an AI-based app. And there's so many of them that you could download. So many you could download on Android and probably Apple. I don't know if Apple iPhones have... Well, Jeff's got an Apple iPhone, so he does have it. But I know, like, with Android, they usually put out a ton of different imitators. Some of them are garbage. Others, require, like, ads. They run ads on them. Or they require you to pay, like, outrageous amounts for, like, monthly and yearly subscriptions and shit. But you gotta figure the AI, okay? Do you all think AI is truly making a takeover right now? Artificial intelligence has been around for God knows how long. How long I been around? And here's my thing. Before I look into this, I gotta say, like, I didn't ask too many young people about this. But, like, how many? Oh, let's see. But how many people do you know that probably don't even know what AI stands? It stands for artificial intelligence. But not too many kids today know it as artificial intelligence. They just know it as AI. Oh, it's AI. artificial intelligence. It's a fucking smart program. That's all it is. It's smart software and hardware that work together. So, actually, looking into this, wow, it's been around a lot longer than we thought. Well, a lot longer than I thought. So, reading up on this, artificial intelligence has roots dating back to ancient times. Wow. Damn, I didn't think they had it like back near. Sorry for the. So, modern AI research formally began in the 1950s. Artificial intelligence has been around basically for 50, over 70 years. God damn. The idea of artificial intelligence can be traced as far back as ancient myths and philosophical speculation, with thinkers imagining artificial being, imaging artificial beings capable of intelligence or consciousness. In the 1930s, Alan Turing laid the theoretical groundwork for AI by describing the concept of a universal computing machine capable of performing any computation and potentially improving its own program. This concept foreshadowed the possibility of machines exhibiting intelligent behavior. The term artificial intelligence was coined in 1955 by John McCarthy, who defined it as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. The field of AI research was officially launched at the Dartmouth College Workshop in 1956, where early pioneers gathered to explore the potential of machines to simulate human intelligence. During this period, computers were still primitive, functioning largely as calculators, but researchers began experimenting with problem solving and symbolic reasoning. So you gotta feel, you gotta figure, like back in the 50s, they had fucking computers that were the size of fucking data center rooms right now. Those computers were big. Like one giant computer could probably program this web browser. Like right now, I got a fucking computer that's got 32 gigs of RAM. It's got an RTX graphics card in it. It's a i7 processor. Which right now I'm multitasking as we speak. As I speak, I'm running the Streamlabs program. I got a browser open so I can read the chat for you guys. I got several browsers open to read articles from, and that's all running off of this small thing. But back then, one towering computer, and it's a towering computer, like one big behemoth, was probably what you needed just to power one website that's open right now to read a fucking article. The computers have evolved, but over the last several decades. But yeah, as it's explained here, they were looking into, finding something, like experimenting with problem solving and symbolic reasoning. I'm going to look up a song real quick. And I've played this before on an episode of Utter Random Crap with Tom. And it was me, I believe it was me, Tom, Tim, and I think Mike was there too. And it's scary the way this song is played out. Because everything in this song, it seems like has come to nature. The way everything has evolved. If you've seen movies like The Time Machine, some even like The Terminator, just the type of living in the future that we could see, the type of humanity that we could deal with, that we would have to live with, that we're evolving into. Like, what are we evolving into? Where are we going from here? let's take a listen to the song from 1960. When was this? 1969, released July 1st, 1969, by the duo Zager and Evans. This is in the year 2025.
In the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, they may find. In the year 3535, ain't gonna need to tell the truth, tell no lies. Everything you think, do, and say is in the pill you took today. In the year 4545, ain't gonna need your teeth, won't need your eyes. You won't find a thing to chew, nobody's gonna look at you. In the year 5555, your arms are hanging limp at your sides. Your legs got nothing to do, some machine doing that for you. In the year 6565, ain't gonna need no husband, won't need no wife. You pick your son, pick your daughter too, from the bottom of a long glass tube. Whoa, whoa. In the year 7510, if God's a-coming, he ought to make it by then. Maybe he'll look around himself and say, guess it's time for the judgment day. In the year 8510, God is gonna shake his mighty head. He'll either say, I'm pleased where man has been, or tear it down and start again. Whoa, whoa. In the year 9595, I'm kinda wondering if man is gonna be alive. He's taken everything this old earth can give, and he ain't put back nothing. Whoa, whoa. Now it's been 10,000 years, man has cried a billion tears for what he never knew. Now man's reign is through, but through eternal night, the twinkling of starlight, so very far away, maybe it's only yesterday. In the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, they may find. In the year 3535.
That is such a catchy song, though. It truly is. But though, something like that really makes you think. Like all the technical advances that we have in medicine, all the advances in all the household appliances and devices that we use on a day-to-day basis. We're only in the, what do you call it, the 21st century. I know they explain it in a weird term, like the 18th century is technically the 19th century, and 19th century is like the 20th century. I forgot how they explain it. I can't even remotely think of typing that in. Why do we call the 19th century? Let me see that. Let me see that real quick. First, I can't even fucking spell like fucking Hubbard. The 20th. All right, so why are the 1900s called the 20th century? Because centuries are counted in groups of 100 years, starting with the year 1. And the numbering reflects in the order of the group first. So like the first century ran from 100 to second century 101 to third century. Oh, okay. So that's when it started out then. Okay. Why not 1900 to 1999? Because there is no year zero in a traditional calendar system. Christian era, common era, began with year one. So the first century ended at year 100, and the second year at 200, and so on. So the year 1900 was the 1900th year since the start of an era, marking the end of the 19th century. The 20th century started the next day, January 1st, 1900, and continued through December 31st, 2000. So that makes sense right there. And plus, there's an episode of Seinfeld, and I just remembered it. I just remembered it before it just came to mind thinking about that. If you watch Seinfeld, there's an episode of Seinfeld where Kramer's getting to have like a millennium party at his apartment for the year 2000, and it wasn't going to happen for like another 3 or 4 years. But he was getting like chairs set up, in Jerry's apartment, and he was booking this and that. He was inviting people to the Millennium Party, and Newman was having his own too. But then Jerry burst his bubble and say, technically it's not Millennium Party because there is technically no year zero. So technically it would still have been the 19th century, or the 20th century. The 21st century would start until 2001. So yeah, the 20th century was 1900 to 2000, 1901 to 2000. So yeah, even though we are in the 21st century, that didn't really start until 2001. That's a little bit of trivia. Very, very interesting. But yeah, like listening to a song like that, coming from 1969, and we're already in the advances of artificial intelligence. Like, what's life going to be like in 100 years from now, 500 years from now, 1,000 years from now? Time's still going to go on. Everybody's talking about, hey, the end of times is coming. God's coming. There's going to be Judgment Day, grand Armageddon, and apocalypse and all. Jesus is risen from the grave. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, that kind of shit, Cutting in and out times. Yeah, I noticed that too, Hoyt. It might be my internet connection. I'm not too sure, even though I'm not really downloading anything. But yeah, I will take a listen to the stream sometime after I'm finished. I think it is my internet connection, but yeah, I do notice like there's a lot of staggering or a lot of stuttering here and there. I don't know what's going on. It might be the software. It could be the software. It could be something running in the background. So let me go ahead and take a quick break. Hopefully I can fix it by the time I get back. Stay tuned, guys. I'll return.
Choose your weapons in this 4-level game of action as you jump from rooftop to rooftop, trying to get through 6 vicious henchmen to get the Joker. But can you defeat him to win? Also available, Tiger's Batman Wrist Game for the time of your life. Tiger LCD video games. Video excitement in the palm of your hand.
It's the flight of your life. Captain Skyhawk for your Nintendo. Captain Skyhawk is the only air combat game with a spy satellite view of the action. More weapons, more missions over more terrain than any other flying ace. Do you have what it takes to airdrop supplies, rescue scientists, destroy aliens, and save Earth from certain doom? It takes the hottest fighter pilot ever. Now air combat soars to incredible new heights with Captain Skyhawk for your Nintendo.
Which car would you rather be in? This one? Or this one. Days of Thunder from Mindscape for your NES.
Learn about the future of aeronautics and space at the NASA Lewis Visitor Center, open most days all year long, next to Hopkins Airport on Brook Park Road.
For 2 years, breakfast has been nothing but healthy, low-cal, no salt.
Yuck! I've had it!
Daddy, no!
I want something delicious and naughty. Tired of things that are just good for me. Ha! Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats.
George.
Huh?
Frosted Mini Wheats are good for you.
No.
Shredded wheat goodness.
No.
And fiber.
No, not fiber.
Yes, George.
But they taste so good.
Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. Surprise, they're good for you.
And now back to the Power Team. The Power Team will be right back after these messages.
Warning, such behavior is irresponsible, immature, and very foolish. We recommend you try it at home. Paperboy from Mindscape for your Nintendo Entertainment System.
Uh-oh. There I am. There I am. Taking a while to find the fucking microphone. God damn. I unplugged it while I was on break. Hold on a second. All right, filters are working. All right, microphone should be good. Everything should be good now. I think I had one too many things running in the background. I gotta clean this computer a little bit, so everything should be all right. Microphone. I unplugged the motherfucker. He think it kid to bully people. It's good seeing a fucking Hubbard meme in the chat. Stuff. We should ask Hubbard. You know, we should. You know what? Fuck it. Where's my fucking soundboard? Where is my soundboard? Because I think we should ask Hubbard if it K. All right, Hubbard. Are you there, Hubbard?
Everything.
You're there? Okay. So, what do you think about AI? Do you think AI is K or not K?
Everything.
All right. What do you think about? All right, let's do this. All right, Hubbard. Earlier I was talking about Tesla Boy tutorials, and he's stirring up some drama on Twitter and shit. Right? What do you think about him?
I'm a shit talker.
He definitely is a talker. He definitely is. I don't know, Hubbard. What do you truly think about tutorials?
Seriously think you're gayer than a $2 bill?
Well, it's coming from the mouth of Hubbard. Sorry, tutorials, if you're listening, man. Sorry if you're listening, man. I can't help it. That's how Hubbard feels about you.
You little faggot.
Oh man, why don't you tell Tesla Boy how you really feel, Hubbard?
Gay bastard and all that shit, bitch. I'm done with that little faggoty batch, boy. Haggy rants.
Oh wow. But back on topic. So Hubbard, what do you think about AI? It's been around since 1950, you know, but it's been on the minds of like the cavemen and the dinosaurs. What do you think about it?
It doesn't matter what kind of hate we can do.
What are you talking about hate? Like, all right, can you agree, Hubbard, can you agree that AI is big bitch on internet?
100%.
All right. Oh, shit. I do gotta say, what do you think about Tesla Boy implementing AI into his very poorly produced and failure of a podcast?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's how I feel. But is it really K though? Like, do you think it's K for Tesla Boy to post shit on the line on the internet and stuff? Do you think it's K for him to post that shit and get away with it?
And it is my freedom of speech, and I can speak all I want.
It's his freedom of speech. Okay. Do you feel like the Hydro and I are bullying him too much on the Twitters and stuff?
Stop the hate, spread the love.
Okay. Yep. Well, do you have any lasting words, Hubbard, before I get back into talking about AI and stuff?
United together, we take a huge shit.
My wife is a one ugly ass bitch. Probably weighs about 375 pounds.
But wait a minute. Didn't you and your wife or your fiance or girlfriend or who it was, didn't she leave your ass years ago?
And everything.
All right. That's what I thought. Thanks for coming by, Hubbard.
The suicide was fake, bro.
Sure it was. All them pills that you've taken over them years. Alrighty. So, microphone is picking up good, I think. I have to invest in another one and stuff. AI big bully. Robot not gay. Shit, I sue Tesla. Oh shit. But yeah, let's see. Talking about the development of artificial intelligence throughout the decades, and this is from the 1950s on up. So starting with the 50s and the 60s, early AI programs focused on tasks like playing games, theorem proving, and simple problem solving. All they wanted was a PC, a thinking PC that was able to do certain things that a normal human being can do. And these were the very, very early stages of it. 1970s, the field faced challenges leading to reduced funding and the first AI winter due to overestimated expectations. The 1980s saw expert systems and renewed investments, particularly in Japan, revitalizing AI research. You gotta give it to the foreigners, though. Korea, Japan, whatever. Them motherfuckers are smart. They have fucking technology before we had technology, in a sense. Like, okay, Atari came out in the US in the 1970s and it faded away in the mid 1980s due to poor sales and poor execution when it came to promoting their products and all, and they failed to sell products. So what happened? We had the video game crash in 1984 into 1983 to 84 was the video game crash. And already in Japan, they had Nintendo. Nintendo was out in Japan for over 100 years. Started out as a card company. They were making playing cards. Then over the years, they transitioned to making other things, and then they got in the video game craze in the 1980s. They already had a fucking Nintendo-based console over in Japan, and what happened? Hell, we bought it out over here. We transitioned over to here into North America and all. And what did we get? The NES, 1985. So shit, they had that technology before we did, and it was perfected. It was some of the best shit that we've had. And then of course, Nintendo of Japan saved the video game industry for fucking decades to come. Yeah, some of the best shit comes from sometimes it comes in China. Yeah, we're slow as hell compared to other countries. Exactly. Like hell. What do we got over here? We got fucking wireless and broadband and shit. We got internet speeds up to like 5K or whatever the fuck it's called. China, they're already fucking like 10 times more than what we are. So yeah, their technology was more advanced than ours, in a sense. 1990s to 2000s, AI matured with advances in machine learning natural language processing and robotics. So this is when they were starting to basically teeter in a direction of teaching it language, the ability to learn, process. So we were already in that era, and mind you, 1984, The Terminator, James Cameron's The Terminator came out. In the movie, they explained about the cybernetic organisms. These, did I just say organisms? Jesus Christ! These cybernetic organisms, these robotic beings that are created in a factory in the future and given some kind of electronic life. You know, like they're living off of power cells in the future. And plus, time travel is a thing in the future, apparently, in this movie. And they send this being back in time to assassinate what will be the mother of the leader of the resistance that is set to fight against the machines in the future. But then what do? They send back a human being in time as well. So you got a movie like The Terminator that warns us about the dangers of the future, like not just an apocalyptic war. Like, well, of course we didn't see that happen, but what if? It's a bunch of what ifs. And this is from the advancements. And of course, you fast forward to 1991, 35 years ago. Yes, 35 years ago, Terminator 2. You see more, you witness more, and you hear more about the advances of this technology and how it is used to advance to create software giant and utilize it to take control of, they can build machines from it and give machines a life. Artificial intelligence. Organisms. That sounds like a Hubbardism. 2010s to 2020s. Modern AI has expanded rapidly with deep learning, large language models, and generative AI enabling machines to perform complex tasks such as image generation, language translation, and autonomous driving. It's scary. It really is scary. We have studied a lot and with artificial intelligence to practically do everything that we do on a daily basis. Are we making ourselves more lazier and more worthless to life than what we should have been? Our ancestors, cavemen, the mighty fucking cavemen. We fucking went out and hunted for fucking meals. We slaughtered animals, brought that motherfucker home, and told our wife, cook that shit. Cut that shit up and cook it, woman. I'm fucking hungry, The age of the cavemen, after the fucking dinosaurs got hit by a big rock and said, fuck this shit, Like, we had advances. We were talking about fucking artificial intelligence. Like, what was it? Maybe the first caveman said, I made fire. There must be a better way to make fire. I don't know for another 1,000 years. But you gotta think, like, they discovered fire. They discovered how to make fire. Early fucking cavemen. All you gotta do is take two rocks and rub them together, or even a fucking stick or something like that. And that's the, what we call fire. Hot. And then maybe one day, maybe somebody in that fucking group of people were like, they're trying to make a fire. Man, there's gotta be something easier than fucking easier way of fucking doing this shit. I know. There's gotta be some I can't be fucking doing this. My arms are tired, man. I've been fucking cracking rocks against each other for fucking hours. Get even one spark. And then you gotta fast forward, about 1,800, 1,900 years later, we got one of these. Can't even hear it on the fucking microphone. Yeah, a fucking Bic lighter. $2 fucking at a gas station. That's how far we came. We came from knocking rocks to a fucking lighter with fucking flammable liquid inside of it. And it's got a little striker inside. So that's how far we came with that kind of technology. But just imagine, like, the simplest things that we could fucking do. Even if it's in school. Where's that gotten us? It's gotten us here. We've gotten lazier. We have gotten lazier. 20, 30 years ago, sitting in a classroom, your teacher says, I want you to type up or write up an essay about Benjamin Franklin and why Benjamin Franklin is important. You had to go to a library. You had to pull books. All right, you had to go to a library, had them look up books for you to pull, read through those books, pull out important passages, or write out your words why Benjamin Franklin is important in history. Nowadays, all you got to do is take a cell phone, pull up an app, or pull up Google or something, and say, hey, Google, why is Benjamin Franklin so... Let me see if I can actually pull that up. I'm going to turn my volume up. So I'm going to do this live on air. Hey, why is Benjamin Franklin important? It ain't going to talk. It ain't going to say it. I don't have a place to. But it says Benjamin Franklin was a key American founding father who helped draft and sign the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. He's also a renowned scientist, inventor, and diplomat whose work was crucial to securing French support during the American Revolution. And that's pulled up right there using an AI program. That is something that I could have probably looked up in a fucking book, and it may have taken me a little bit to read, or if I want to fucking skim through for the context. But it just literally took me 2 seconds to type to speak into a fucking microphone of a cell phone just to get the answer that I could have fucking looked up in a book. All I had to do was go to a library, look up a book, a history book on Benjamin Franklin, skim through, pull out the important details, boom, I'm done. Same thing with internet browsing. The computer that I'm streaming on right now, all I got to do is go into Google, type it in, and it'll pull it up right there. The AI software, the cloud AI software, puts up all of your information for you. It may be convenient and easy, but you got to think, what is that teaching our kids? What is that teaching our kids? It's teaching our kids that they're fucking lazy. It's going to get to the point where they're like, what's a fucking book? They're going to get to the point like, what's a book? You know what's even scarier? Okay. Nicole and I went into a library about a week ago. A week or two ago. And of course, we checked out a couple DVDs to watch for the sake of it. But I looked around, and this was a library that I frequented it quite a bit. I even worked in this library. A lot of the shelvings that had a lot of interesting books were gone. They liquidated a lot of their inventory. If they had like 10,000 books, they liquidated down to about 2,000 to 3,000 books. You can't even find those books anywhere in their system anymore. I went in there to find a book to go along with the video I uploaded on the channel talking about the William Bean Haunted House. And I can't book anywhere in that library. The guy looked in their system. It's not even in the system. You can't get it from another library around there. They delisted and uncirculated books from their system. So now there's books that are hard to find. You can't find them anywhere. But I'm pretty sure they might have them on Google Books. I think I have an app for Google Books. I'm not sure. I don't even have an app. Doesn't seem. Say like for Google Books, I'm pretty sure that's not even on there. It may be on there. I don't fucking know. But our information is disappearing. And it's being rewritten through the eyes of AI. So now, if you look at it, I'm pretty sure in a year from now, the AI system that you use is going to come out saying that Benjamin Franklin was a racist and he owned a dozen slaves, which ain't true. That shit ain't going to be fucking true. I mean, yeah, that's around a time period where slavery was a thing. It was like almost 100 years before the Grand Civil War that freed the slaves. Did Benjamin Franklin own? Well, let's just look it up. I'm not gonna fucking jump the gun and say he didn't. Did Ben Franklin own slaves? For the fuck of it. Now it's saying that he was a slave owner. Will I find that anywhere in a book in a library? How can I? There are no books to be found in libraries. You got Copilot. Copilot is an AI system. This AI system is saying, yes, Ben Franklin was a slave owner during much of his life, though his relationship with slavery evolved over time. It's saying that he purchased a slave in 1735. By the late 18th century, his household had owned at least 7 named enslaved individuals named Joseph, Jemima, Peter, King, Othello, George, and Bob. Bob? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to get a chuckle out of that. That Ben Franklin owned a fucking slave named Bob. I gotta take a second. This can't be fucking real, man. This can't be fucking real. It can't be. Oh, god damn. He benefited financially from the slave trade by advertising the sale of enslaved people and publishing runaway slave notices in the Pennsylvania Gazette. Tax records from 1769 to 1774 listed him as owning 1 Negro. God damn. This shit can't be fucking real. But this is the shit that I've looked up, man. This is the shit that I've looked up. Did he own them? I honestly don't know. Franklin and slavery. As far as we know, he purchased the first slave in 1735 throughout his life. This is just like the same fucking shit that I just saw from there. Bob. Bob was acquired during Franklin's tenure in England and was the household's by the 1770. Shortly after Franklin's return in 1775, Bob was given to Sally and I'm sorry, just reading the way it's been. Bob was given to Sally and Richard Blatch. God damn. I'm going to read this. This is plain to me. In 1778, Franklin would make a provision that required his daughter and son-in-law to free Bob in order to receive their inheritance. He requested that Richard immediately after my decease manumit and set free his Negro man Bob. Man. Why can't they use that term, Negro man? Why do they got to use the other word nowadays? Now they did. Black people use it, white people use it, Hispanics use it. You know, why can't they use that term, my Negro man? You know, mind you, the term Negro has been around for centuries, and plus, in Spanish, Negro means the color black. So there's nothing racial about saying the word Negro. The other one is, but that one ain't. Don't let any idiot tell you different. That when you say that word, be like, no, it's the other one that's racist. This one, it's a script. You know, it's even a color. It's Spanish for black. Okay? But damn, my boy Ben Franklin, he owned a slave named Bob. I didn't think Bob was a in the 1700s. What's your slave's name? Bob. Next time I see somebody named Bob, I'm just gonna fucking laugh. I'm just gonna fucking laugh. But let's get back to AI. Let's get back to our. Oh, Jesus Christ. Something must have changed. Danger risks. So we already talked about how AI's been around, how long AI. Let's talk about the dangers and the potential risks of artificial intelligence, which pose a range of risks from algorithmic bias and privacy violations to malicious misuse and potential existential threats to humanity. The algorithmic basis or bias. I don't want to say basis. The AI systems learn from data, and if the data contains biases, AI can perpetuate or amplify them. This can result in unfair treatment in hiring, lending, law enforcement, and other high stakes areas. Studies have shown facial recognition algorithms misidentify Black or East Asian faces far more often than white faces, highlighting the potential for systematic discrimination if unchecked. So already AI is self-aware and is basically fucking discriminating people with facial recognition programs. So there's already a bias right there with the software, even if it's with, the hardware. AI can be real biased. Surveillance and privacy. This is a big issue right here. Like, okay, remember 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, you and your wife, or you and your girlfriend, you and your lover, maybe you and a hooker, who the fuck knows. You go into a motel room. It's a cheaply shoddy little hotel room, something worse than what Jeff and I stayed in Gettysburg. And you got the fucking pictures hanging off the wall, the fucking toilet's running, the tub looks like somebody died in it recently, the bed's got an awful smell coming from it, but all you want to do is lay in bed and watch TV, right? So you're there, you're with your mate, you get it on, and suddenly there's a fucking hole somewhere in the wall. You don't fucking know about it. It's either behind a fucking hanging mirror, or it's just a hole that's just there and you don't spot it, and there's a camera behind there and shit. That was invasion of privacy right there. You have fucking motels and hotels that are fucking recording you getting it on, having sex and shit, Yeah, that was back in the fucking day. You would see that in fucking movies and TV shows. There's your invasion of privacy right there, surveillance. But now AI can do a lot more. Yeah, AI enhances surveillance capabilities, enabling intrusion, monitoring, and data collection. This can erode personal privacy and freedom as governments or corporations may track individuals more extensively than before. Now, I have said it on the program before. I've said it when I was live with Tom. I've talked about it with Jeff. I've talked about it with Mike. The biggest thing to surveillance and privacy to you guys watching and listening is right in front of you. Your cell phone. That's the biggest thing right there. That is a big security issue. This was even stated a couple decades ago or more with Edward Snowden. He used to work at NSA until he took notice that NSA, their agents up there, they're spying on you. They spy on you using your webcams and your microphones. This is pre-cell phone. Okay, this is all pre-cell phone. Everybody was using, what was the biggest thing that the people were using back in the day? Webcams. They became a big thing back in the day. Webcams. People were using webcams to video chat. People were using microphones to chat with people back and forth with each other. That was a big thing. And now you got the use of cell phones today, along with laptops, tablets, anything that has a microphone, anything that has a camera installed. That's the big thing. So yeah, the government's spying on you. They got ways of hacking into your hardware and the software. They have ways of watching you. You know, when you're taking your selfie or video or doing a live stream on TikTok, your fans and friends aren't the only ones watching you. Everybody else is watching you. In fact, I guarantee, including mine, I bet you every single person on this planet, I bet all their information on the dark web. My information could be out for purchase. Somebody who wants to do sick things to me. You know, they go on the dark web. They say, oh, this motherfucker right here, I know where he lives at. They could pay hundreds of fucking dollars to the person who has that information. Just so they can come here and do what to me? Fuck my ass, make me humble? They want to fucking bend my big ass over like a rodeo me over a goddamn fucking TV stand or a couch? Playing some fucking erotic song in the background with a fucking gimp hanging up in the next room, you know? I'm sure that's what they want to fucking do. All because my information's out there on the black web because of the dangers of AI. Some motherfucker wants to do me in like Marcellus Wallace. Only I'm white. I'm fucking big. I'm white. I'm bald. I probably look like a bitch to them. All they gotta do is fucking bend me over a goddamn sawhorse and have my ass. That's all I fucking need. They look good, babe. Sorry guys, my wife showed me her nails. Her nails look really. Like I said, all of that because of the fucking dangers of AI. Oh god, I can see it now. Hold on. I gotta pull this up for the proper rendition. Let's see. If I want to talk about something like pull it up properly. Let's see. I think this is. Oh yeah, here we go. Ready, guys. Oh yeah. Just imagine. Big Negro Bob buys my information off the black web. Breaks into my house, sees my big ass sitting there. And he's like, man, them cheeks, they look mighty round to me. Oh, God, bring them here. So he gonna come over to me with gun in hand, right? He gonna bring the Gimp with him, too. Gimp's gonna be named Jim. Gimp's gonna be hanging in the back room, right? He gonna bend my fucking ass over that couch. He gonna pull my fucking pants down. I'm gonna be fucking gagged and bound. And he gonna have my fucking way. He gonna have his way with my ass, man. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be Marcellus Wallace on that fucking couch. Maybe a sawhorse. I don't fucking know. But I tell you, that shit ain't gonna fucking feel good either. My asshole's gonna be sore by morning. All because of the dangers of AI. My ass is gonna be sore like a fucking prisoner. Burnt out in prison. God damn, but that's the danger. That's the fucking AI, man. They sell your fucking information. Anything can fucking happen. Anything can fucking happen. That information's out there. All because you got somebody who's watching you on your fucking phone, watching you on your computer. They got all your fucking shit, man. Surveillance and privacy. Then how about malicious use? AI is increasingly exploited by malicious actors for scams, disinformation, and deep fake creation. There's a lot of that going on with social media right now. There is a lot of that. How many of you flipped through Twitter or Instagram or Facebook? Even YouTube. YouTube is actually, this is ironic. This is ironic with YouTube. They implemented an AI system to go through and delete a lot of these channels that upload deep fake and AI bullshit. How fucking ironic is that? You use a system to delist shit that the system is capable of making. But then you got different pages on social media. I've blocked so many of them. And this is stuff that President Trump has warned us all about, told us all about this disinformation and scams. People use the AI system to post that shit online. Why? To divide us even more. To create more hate and destruction for our country, toward our president. And you got a lot more ignorant people out there that are like, you know what? Yeah, I saw it on the internet. It must be real. No, anything you see on the internet is not real. Especially with AI being maliciously used, especially by actors. Reports indicate an 8-fold increase in AI-enabled scams since 2022, and deepfake videos have surpassed incidents involving autonomous vehicles and facial recognition combination. There is a movie that just came out. I shit you all not. Nicole and I went to see it. It's probably one of her favorite, well, it's her favorite franchise. Scream 7. Scream 7 is a big contributor and a big to what I'm talking about with malicious use. Because if you're familiar with the Scream franchise, Matt Lillard's character died in the first movie. They wanted to bring him back for the 7th movie, but they said, nah, but we'll have his likeliness in there, right? So throughout that movie, you see his likeliness. You see Stewart. He's harassing, he's threatening Sydney, threatening to come after her daughter, like it was 30 years ago. And they swear up and down it's Stu, but they thought he was dead. They thought Sydney killed him in the first act, right? So it can't be. Scream 7, how many more times? I thought you kept up with that, man. What's going on, Colton? Yeah, Scream 7 came out like months ago. That movie came out a good while ago. But I will say, yeah, AI is a big contributor in that movie. And they use it to their advantage in that movie. They brought back a lot of these old actors from the first 3 Scream movies. And they got AI segments, deep fake segments in there. So yeah, there's your example of AI being maliciously used in certain ways. Some AI tools have been misused to produce sexualized images of real individuals, prompting government interventions in countries like Malaysia and I have seen this too. After 4, I was done with that series. Yeah. I don't blame you. Fucking microphone keep cutting out. But yeah, that's another thing I've seen too. Sexualized images. You see a ton of it. Mostly on Twitter. And now it's invading Facebook. Facebook is being invaded every so often with artificial intelligence, with AI generated pictures of nude men and women. And it's getting through the system. It's getting through the algorithm somehow. That is the most ridiculous part. Like, how many kids use Facebook? I know adults use it to communicate with each other and look up news and believe a lot of dumb bullshit on there. But Facebook is one of the most used pieces of social media on the internet. Then you got MySpace is supposedly making a comeback, but that's another story. But, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you use, whatever social media platform you use, it's now become a cesspool of AI-generated garbage. Just like a lot of these movie posters that you see pop up on Facebook. Oh, they're making Happy Gilmore 3. Are they really? No. I'm surprised they made Happy Gilmore 2. But then people, they're like, oh my God, there's another one of those movies coming out? No, you just got to fucking research the shit like I do. A lot of things that I see on Facebook, I always research it. Is it true MySpace is trying to make a comeback? Yes. That's already been posted several times. They are going to try to, they're trying to bring it back. It's already a music service. It's a music streaming service for the last 10 years or so. But yeah, they are trying to bring it back into the social media world. So yeah, that is definitely true. But yeah, a platform that is mostly used. Yeah, it's ridiculous how the fake movie posters can. Yeah, they can. It's all art. It's all AI generated. And somewhere like Facebook, it's one of the biggest, the most used websites out there, and that's a lot of people that gain that information. So that, of course, that's going to be the biggest platform that's going to be flooded with misinformation, with AI and deep fake garbage. YouTube, however, yes, some of it is flooding on YouTube, but like I said before, it's ironic and funny that YouTube has implemented an AI system just to get rid of all that stuff. It's funny, they're killing off a lot of different YouTube channels that implement the AI shit. Then we got cybersecurity threats. AI can be weaponized to automate cyber attacks, generate phishing campaigns, or bypass security systems, increasing the scale and sophistication of digital threats. Once again, have you people seen the Terminator? Let's move into 3, Rise of the Machines. This came out in the early 2000s. Sequel to Terminator 2. Terminator 2, amazing movie. Big blockbuster in 1991. That should have ended it for it right there. Terminator 2, for a lot of people, is the definite closer. But then for some reason, several fucking years later, we needed another sequel. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Okay. Arnold is back. This is right before he left to go governor California, This is before he was the governor of California, or maybe he came back from governing it. I can't fucking remember. But Terminator 3, we saw an adult John Connor trying to criminalize AI in some ways, because I was wondering how AI images used to blackmail people. Yeah, I just covered that too. That was actually under algorithmic bias and malicious use. Yeah, I forgot that too. Yeah, it's true. That's exactly what it's doing. But let's go back to Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Okay. Let's say they didn't stop Judgment Day. They only postponed it. That's what the movie was. They postponed Judgment Day by doing what they did. Cyberdyne was already still creating their software program. They were already implementing hardware. They were creating machines and such. They were already implementing a lot of things. And, of course, you got 2 Terminators sent back in time to, well, this time, not just protect John Connor, but protect his wife. Of course. And, of course, Sarah Connor, she's dead already. She's died. But now, it's not only they're not trying to delay or stop Judgment Day, but it was to help them survive it, get into the bunker in the end. But, the one Terminator starts to infect machines at the beginning of the fucking movie. And it spreads like wildfire. It's a wild virus. It spreads like wildfire from system to system. And it starts taking over computers. Well, this is when Cyberdyne, or I forgot what it was, Skynet, Cyberdyne, whatever it was, they decided to hit the button to shut the system down, virus into the system, and it took over worldwide. So now you got fucking defense mechanisms. You got attacks being made. Missiles are being shot out. They are using our own defense systems against us, all because of this AI system that's infected their computers. It was made self-aware and it took over. Yeah, that was Terminator. It was mine too, for so many reasons and all. Salvation, yeah, it was a little bit better. That was right after the war started and all. So yeah, Salvation was pretty good. I like Salvation. But you got to think, and like I said, reading up on this, AI can be weaponized to automate cyber attacks. Just imagine, you got some sick fuck out there who creates a virus, a program tired of Donald Trump. They said, well, we got to find a way to kill Trump off. We got to find a way to do Trump in. I know while he's busy with doing Iran in and shutting down their canal, and our oil prices are hot sky high and da 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 or whatever. One sick fuck who's good with computers, who knows how to create viruses and programs. Let's say they had access to something like a supercomputer, something that was able to connect via internet to every computer in the world and make it spread. That's a possibility. And AI, they can use AI. They can implement AI to do that very thing. And that's the scariest thing of all. All they got to do is put some kind of coding in there and say, launch rockets from Russia. Launch rockets from China. Hit this spot here. Hit that spot there. And then once the system is given all these commands, once it becomes self-aware, that's the end of life right there. If we're not killing each other, if we're not ending our own salvations, our own lives, the fucking artificial intelligence is doing it. So yeah, we are playing a fucking dangerous game with artificial intelligence. We are making it smarter. We're helping it get smarter over time. It's getting there. James Cameron fucking warned us, people. James Cameron warned us over 40 fucking years ago. It's not just Hollywood at work. It's not just a piece of entertainment that we watch. This shit is real. Here's some technical and systemic risks, malfunctions, and unintended behaviors. AI systems can fail unpredictably, producing harmful outcomes. Chatbots, for example, have caused psychological distress in users due to its misleading and delusional outputs. Autonomous systems, if not properly monitored, may make unsafe decisions in critical domains like transportation and healthcare. Oh yeah, that's a big fucking thing right there. Systemic risks. Widespread AI adoption can amplify societal vulnerabilities. For instance, reliance on AI for financial markets, infrastructure, or decision-making could propagate errors rapidly, creating cascading failures. So do we really want to rely on artificial intelligence? Do we want to really rely on it when it comes to making financial decisions of everyday choices? Like, do I trust artificial intelligence to make me a grocery list of things that I need in my refrigerator? Do I need artificial intelligence to look into my paycheck to see how much I'm getting or how much I'm losing or whatever? I don't need that shit. I shouldn't have to need something like that. Systemic risks. Did I already? Yeah, I already read that. Okay, regulatory and governance challenges. Current reporting framework, such as the EU AI Act and California's Transparency and Frontier AI Act, only capture the most serious incidents, leaving many harms untracked. This makes it difficult to fully understand and mitigate AI risks. Another big risk with AI is what the hell was being promoted for the last few years, even under Biden? Electric vehicles. One of the biggest things that put Elon Musk's name on the fucking market, the Teslas. Tesla boy supports it still, but he don't like Elon Musk. The Tesla vehicles, or any other kind of electric vehicle out there, it all relies on artificial intelligence. I, for one, had a first-hand personal experience with being in a Tesla, with how Teslas drive, with how Teslas activate, and how they operate. It's scary. It is scary. People will say it's a smooth, quiet ride. You ain't got to worry about gasoline. You don't got to worry about polluting the air. You don't have to worry about expensive gas prices. Yeah. But if I want to charge a fucking battery, let's say I'm on a fucking road trip, and I gotta find a gas station that has a charging spot for it that fits my fucking car, and B, I gotta sit there for an hour or two for that fucker to charge my car. Yes, I've witnessed this firsthand with somebody I used to talk to for a full-on charge, about an hour or so of us sitting in the car waiting for the fucker to charge, to get a full charge. Whereas I can go to a gas station, I may be paying $40 to fill my fucking tank. That's not even 5 minutes standing there. Not even 5 fucking minutes. Compared to an hour, hour and a half. Suppose you break down in the middle of the road somewhere. You're fucked. At least with a gas-powered vehicle, you could walk 5 miles back to the nearest gas station to get a fucking gallon of gas and come fucking back. Meanwhile, your fucking family's laying out in the fucking desert, their eyes fucking pecked out by the crows because he said, fuck my life. Why did I marry this piece of shit? He should have got a goddamn better car. And the fucking kids are sitting there like, oh shit, what's that? Oh, there's a fucking building coming toward me. No, it's a fucking mirage. You know, it's almost like you take National Lampoon's Vacation and you amplify it with a fucking Tesla. Suppose Clark had to fucking hike 3 miles back through the fucking desert to get a goddamn tow truck to come pick his piece of shit up. Then you gotta hope the motherfucker starts, because you can't move a Tesla if the motherfucker can't start, because the fucking tires, you're not gonna be able to push that motherfucker on a goddamn bed. You're gonna fucking drag it up with a goddamn a chain. But yeah, you know, you got cars that fucking require an hour and a half to charge. Driving. Now these cars, they have multiple cameras inside and outside the car. They do. They have like 20 some cameras, and they're on every side, inside and out. They watch everything you do. If you take your hands off the steering wheel, that fucking alarm will scream at you until you put your hands back on there. Now, when it comes to self-driving, yeah, you gotta have some kind of attentive to it. You know, like your hands gotta be near the fucking steering wheel still for it to self-drive. But then, like, if you got a car next to you, does it record that car? Well, it does. It'll sense a car next to you. Maybe. And I've watched this thing. I was actually in this thing when it parked inside of a parking spot at the Royal Farms. And he actually had it back into the spot. It took a few tries, but that car got it in there perfect. And I was just fucking scared it was going to I was going to get whiplash from this son of a bitch. But everything with this car, every control that you had inside was all on a fucking touchscreen. Now, suppose the touchscreen busted. Suppose the fucking touchscreen had a crack in it and you had to get that replaced. Oh, that's thousands of dollars right there. You can't really automate the fucking car with that touchscreen because that controls everything. It controls your radio, controls your air conditioning, it controls your cameras, it controls every fucking thing. Some people want kill switches for cars, which is a very bad... Yeah, I know. That's like the state of Maryland. They want to implement a thing where any new car you have or any new car you buy has a kill switch in case it fucking speeds and the camera catches you. Kills... Fucking microphone. God damn it. Fucking microphone not picking up. Let me reiterate. You know, people in Maryland, they want fucking newer cars to have kill switches. That way, if a car is going through a fucking traffic light speeding and shit and is a potential danger to other people, all they got to do is hit a kill switch based on that camera location. Car stops, right? Okay, what about the cars behind it? 30 car pile up, all because of one kill switch. Yeah, there's gonna be more fucking accidents with that. I haven't seen it implemented yet. We're talking about it. Let's see. There's a lot of... Let's see. Okay, long-term and existential risks. Autonomous decision-making. Advanced AI could eventually operate with minimal human oversight, raising concerns about control and alignment with human values. Misaligned AI objectives could lead to unintended consequences on a global scale. Social disruption. AI may exacerbate inequality, displace jobs, and concentrate power among few organizations or nations, potentially destabilizing economies and social structures. So basically saying AI can be a threat to the economy. Can you imagine if they artificial intelligence to handle the economy of this country or of the world? This fucker will be broker than what we were fucking under Biden. Motherfuckers will be fucking struggling then. The country will be out of fucking money. Cost for anything that we need. There'll be a high cost of demand. I gotta beat the fucking microphone just to get it to work. God damn. Like, can you imagine working and not being able to make a paycheck to support your family? All because some dickwad wanted to implement an artificial intelligence system to help better the fucking economy. Oh, we need the system to monitor the money of the fucking nation. We need to do this and do that and da. Yeah. That's a fucking scary shit. I don't want a fucking machine fucking up my paychecks and shit. Existential threats. Some experts warn that super intelligent AI, if developed without robust safety measures, could pose existential risks to humanity, though there remains a debated and long-term concern. Mitigation strategies. This is the last bit of here. Bias detection and correction. Use diverse data sets, implement bias audits, and involve multidisciplinary teams in AI development. Transparency and accountability. Ensure AI decision-making processes are explainable and subject to oversight. Robust monitoring. Track AI incidents systematically to identify emergency risks, and prevent large-scale harm. International collaboration. Global cooperation on AI safety standards and regulations can help manage cross-border risks. Yeah, there's a lot of danger when it comes to artificial intelligence. Now, I want to mention now, and this is, I could say it's hilarious because people have been seeing videos and hearing about the technological advances when it comes to creating artificial intelligent beings. Now, my wife and I recently subjected to a movie called Soulmate. This movie just came out not too long ago. And it's about a guy who works for this company who deals with artificial intelligence and a program, such as a chat program, that you could download and pull up on your phone, and you could pick the voice and the name for the thing, and you could chat with it like it's a regular fucking person and shit, that kind of thing. And there's already apps for that. I've seen them on the cell phone. You could download certain apps. You could text it. You could talk into your phone. Tell the AI app what you want to do. You can't really get sexual with it though. I think there are apps out there that you can get sexualized with those apps, but you got to pay for them. Like, who the hell would want to pay $10, $15, $20 a month? Tell a fucking app on your phone, can you suck my dick? Like, even if I asked it, what sex are you? oh, my sex is not determined. I am a program and shit like that, you know? But if you say, show me a picture of your titties, well, it show you a picture of her titties, you know? Or if you're gay, show me a picture of her dick. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's the technological advance with applications for phones. But in this movie, they want to take it a step further. They implemented a being that is robotic. It's a cybernetic organism, not like Terminator, but it's a cyborg. It's a robot with like this rubber latex like skin over it to give it its features of being human. And of course, it moves around like a human does. It talks, but it doesn't have emotions. And of course, it does shut down. It does power off, that kind of thing. Runs on a battery. So this guy, he signs up for the beta for this robot, test it out. Plus, in the movie, you learn that his wife had passed away, and he feels lonely. He's alone. He needs somebody to talk to. He just needs that other half, basically. So rather than go out on a date with somebody, I guess he wants to try it out and say, okay, this is what these programs were made for. They were made for people who are alone. They're lonely. You know, they have nobody in their life. So this AI system acts as a stepping stone for them, you know, so they can feel better. They feel comfortable, and they have that mate with them. So he names the being Sarah, and things start going very well, you know. And then it gets to the point where this being wants to mate with him. He's like, "Do you want to make out? Do you want to do this or that? Doing that?" Like, just imagine. I'm putting it in thoughts. Now, I'm not going to do a movie review on it or anything, but let's just imagine, like, this guy has a fucking robot in his house that looks like a woman, an actual being, and this being wants to kiss him. And he ends up fucking it and all, like having sex with it. It has all the features, you know. It has the fucking lifelike tits. It has the ass, all that fucking shit. There's even a scene, mind you, this is like a sci-fi, not like a horror movie sort of too, where there's this guy that tries to take the fucking machine back, you know, because it's basically tampered with, or it needs to be reset or whatever. And the fucking machine this fucking robot starts seducing him into having sex, and he ends up on the fucking bed, she ends up on top, and you can hear this fucking mechanical whirling coming from her pussy area, and he's like, oh yeah, tight, that's how I like it. And then it starts getting tighter, and he's like, oh my god, it's getting tighter, stop, it's getting tight, it's too tight, to the point where it fucking crushes his goddamn dick and kills him. You know? But a movie like this, especially when it becomes self-aware and it starts learning, it has learning capabilities. So let's say it's starting to learn about, you know, heartbreaks and women that cheat, or women that come onto your man and stuff like that, and it becomes violent and shit. So yeah, technological advances like that with artificial intelligence. Watch that movie right there. Watch that with Terminator back to back. And you'll see, like, goddamn, what the hell are we doing with artificial intelligence? Like, we're making it so fucking self-aware now. It's becoming a risk in our lives. It's becoming a health risk. It's becoming a potential risk to everybody. But we don't see it. We see it as something that may be helping us out, because we're too fucking lazy to do shit on our own. It's like things 30 years ago, we're sitting there like, there's got to be a fucking easier way. There's got to be a better way of fucking doing this. Or thousands of fucking years ago, cavemen. Ooh, fire. Must be better way of making fire. Yeah, thousands of fucking years later, we got a fucking Bic lighter. There, we can I make fire. I'm caveman. Yeah, I make fire at concerts. That's what it is. You know, thousands of years ago, cavemen are fucking striking stones against each other to create one fucking spark. But this is the advancements that we had. We were studying fucking artificial intelligence since 1950. 1950. Here we are. We got fucking movies where we're creating fucking robots that'll fuck the shit out of you, or they'll fucking kill you while they're fucking you. God damn. The dangers of fucking AI, guys. That's where it's gotten us right now. Artificial intelligence is going to be the fucking death of us. It really is. Oh, God. 2 hours in. Let me go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break, guys. And then when I come back, I will get into today's last topic of the day. And it is going to be a little doozy. I promise you I'm not going to take too long with this. I'm trying to stay under the 3-hour mark. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Power Team stars Quirk, America's favorite tomato, Max Force, Narc's Super Cop, Kuros of Wizards and Warriors, Tyrone, the coolest arch rival, and Bigfoot, the king of the monster trucks. Trust me, these guys are the hottest superhero team ever to fight the dark forces of evil. And no one is more evil than Mr. Big. We'll have a Power Team adventure for you every day. Okay, settle in. Here's the plan. We're gonna check out the #1 episode of the Power Team, the premiere. First time on television. It's an episode where the team battles that good-for-nothing Mr. Big in an adventure called Yes, We Have No Tomatoes. And when the team wraps it up and we come back, we're gonna get the Video Power Edge on Ninja Gaiden 2 and the Revenge of Shinobi. Let's roll.
Video Power will be right back.
Tiger puts arcade action in the palm of your hand. Games like Batman. Choose your weapons in this 4-level game of action as you jump from rooftop to rooftop trying to get through 6 vicious henchmen to get the Joker. But can you defeat him to win? Also available, Tiger's Batman wrist game for the time of your life. Tiger LCD video games. Video excitement in the palm of your hand.
It's the flight of your life. Captain Skyhawk for your Nintendo. Captain Skyhawk is the only air combat game with a spy satellite view of the action. More weapons, more missions over more terrain than any other flying ace. Do you have what it takes to airdrop supplies, rescue scientists, destroy aliens, and save Earth from certain doom? It takes the hottest fighter pilot ever. Now air combat soars to incredible new heights with Captain Skyhawk for your Nintendo.
Which car would you rather be in? This one? Or this one? Days of Thunder from Mindscape for your NES.
Learn about...
Alrighty. Back, guys. Back for the last one of the day. I gotta tell you. Talking about AI, artificial intelligence. Why can't I get something artificially intelligent down here to like fucking slurp the piss out of my dick? Why do I gotta fucking get up? Go to the fucking toilet. Whip it out. And it requires me fucking walking upstairs, downstairs, all this shit, right? Why can't I have a fucking hose down here where I can just like hook it in there and just as I'm just fucking pushing it out? Yeah, we'll be doing that definitely soon. Just like, okay, when I'm taking a shit, maybe when I'm fucking taking a shit, maybe I can shove a hose up my ass. Marcellus Wallace. Yeah, there's my fucking colon cleanse. I don't need to see the doctor anymore. Maybe I sucked all the fucking cancerous polyps out of my fucking colon doing that. There we go. There's something for the AI. Oh, shit. Let's talk about this one doozy, guys. And it's the main topic. The main title of today's stream is Physical Media Making a Comeback. It seems like it. It seems like it. I even pulled it up here. Also, using AI. Copilot AI. Remember, Benjamin Franklin owned 7 slaves, including a slave named Bob. I cannot get over that. I can't get over the fact that Ben Franklin owned a slave named Bob. God damn, I swear to God, any other time I see the name Bob, I'm going to fucking think back to Ben Franklin. Like, hey, how much did he trade you for? They're gonna be like, what? Ah, shit. Alright, so physical media is quietly making a comeback, driven by vinyl records, books, and other tangible formats, particularly among younger generations seeking tactile, intentional experiences. Because let's just put it like this: you have like 10 different platforms to watch TV shows and movies on. All right, you got Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, Disney Plus. You got AMC Plus, Shudder. Oh Christ, I've seen a fucking ton. You got Tubi TV. You got the free ones like Tubi TV. You got Freevee. You got a ton of different platforms that are either free or you got to pay a fucking arm and a leg for, whether you care about fucking ads or not. And just flipping through the same fucking thing over and over again just to see if they got one particular movie on these apps. And I've said this before, and I'll continue saying it. Not every app, not every streaming app has everything that you want in it. Not every app has everything that you want in it. People don't understand that. When you say Netflix has every fucking movie out there, no, it don't. They don't have it. Paramount Plus, which is another one. Paramount Plus specializes in anything that is related to Viacom and Paramount. That's what it specializes. Max or HBO Max usually specializes in anything that is distributed by Warner Production, Warner Brothers, and a few others. Peacock specializes in anything released by or distributed by Universal. So each app has something very unique or different about it. If you want to watch Child's Play 2, you'll mostly find it on Peacock because Child's Play 2 was distributed by, and I think produced by Universal Studios. Now, if you go and look for Child's Play 1, you're not going to find it on Peacock. You might find it on Netflix. You might find it on Tubi. Why? Because the first Child's Play movie, including the reboot from 2019, I think it was, were both distributed by MGM Films. So that's a big difference right there. You know, you got the original, which was like distributed by MGM and United Artists, and then Universal picked up the rights for it for the sequel and carried it out. So that's why when you see box sets for Child's Play or anything Chucky related, you may not see the first Chucky movie in there. You may not see the first Child's Play because it's completely different. It's like a fucking copyright infringement kind of thing. So it's like you cannot package something from MGM with a set that's from Universal. Same thing with the Nightmare on Elm Street film franchise. Most of that is, well, I think all of it is actually New Line Cinema. Yeah, actually, yeah. So all the Nightmare on Elm Street films are New Line Cinema. It's Friday the 13th I'm thinking about. Because Friday the 13th, parts 1 through 8 are all from Paramount Pictures. And then when you get to Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, they're distributed by New Line Cinema. So if you got a Friday the 13th box set, you're not going to have those last two. You're not even going to have the remake. Maybe not even Freddy vs. Jason because of copyright issues. Because you're not, they're owned by a completely different distributor. They're owned by New Line. So that's always the kind of problem that you have when it comes to stuff like that. Same thing with Netflix. That's why you'll see different movies on different platforms that you got to pay money out for, you know? And still, they're not going to have every fucking movie that you're looking for either. Just like if you own an Xbox or a PlayStation, there's probably certain movies on there that you are looking for you can't find on there either because they don't have the licenses. Companies like Microsoft and Sony, they got to purchase licenses in order to stream movies or upload movies to their service that you can either rent or purchase. Now, unlike Netflix and Hulu and all, those type of services that you purchase your movies on, including YouTube. YouTube has an option for you to purchase movies to watch, as well as. But you would think when you purchase something digitally like that, you own it, right? You own a license. You own a piece of that license to that movie. It's yours. You bought it digitally, right? Apparently not to Sony. Not to Sony anymore. And it's big bullshit. Let me read this to you guys. And this came out about a month or so ago. And it takes effect September 1st. So here we are, August 14th. We're halfway through the month of August. It's going to take effect here real soon. So if you guys are on PlayStation or whatever, guess what? Sony is removing 551 movies and TV shows from PlayStation accounts on September 1st due to licensing issues with Studio Canal with no refunds offered. That is bullshit. 551 movies that were licensed or distributed by Studio Canal Films. They're not going to refund you for that. Imagine if you bought, 550. Why the fuck is my calculator blew up like that? 551. Okay. Let's say each of those movies were $10 a piece. Let's say average $10. I see that on Xbox, Movies Anywhere. When I buy movies digital, $10. 551 movies times 10. And they don't offer you a refund for it? That's $5,510 that Sony owes everybody. Sony has the money for that fucking shit. But guess what? They're not going to refund you. That's the biggest crock of shit right there. It's like, not only are they going to delist these movies from your library, even if you bought them, they're not going to give you a refund back. That's over $5,000 fucking dollars. Sony has announced that 551 digital movies and TV shows purchased on PlayStation will be removed from the user's library starting September 1st. This action affects users in Europe and the UK, while US accounts are reportedly unaffected. The removals are due to licensing agreements with Studio Canal not being renewed, and Sony has stated that purchases on the PlayStation Store are licensed access, not ownership, meaning no refunds and compensation will be okay, so when I heard about this, I didn't fully read into it. So apparently anybody in the US are not going to be affected by this. It's only in Europe and the UK. It's still considered bullshit though. Like, can you imagine buying all the movies that you love? Every fucking movie that it's hard to find. You can't find it on DVD. You can't find it on VHS anywhere unless you're looking online on eBay and somebody's got a fucking copy of Truck Stop Women for fucking $200 and you want a copy of it. But I can find it for free on fucking YouTube, or I can buy it on fucking Xbox for $10, But it's like, let's say you find all your favorite fucking movies, and suddenly got somebody like Sony comes in and says, well, due to licensing agreements and issues with that, we are no longer able to pay for the licensing for these movies. We got to take them off of our repertoire. But you know what? I mean, I know it doesn't affect me because A, I don't have a PlayStation to watch movies on, and B, it's not really affecting U.S. accounts. It's only affecting Europe and the UK. Sucks to be living in Europe and the UK. Sucks for you guys. You're about to lose all your fucking money right there. Whereas, like right now, if you look at down in Australia, they're banning certain video games down in Australia. You're not going to be able to play the new Halloween game down there when it comes out. Fuck no. All these fucking other countries are fucking banning shit. Why? What's the big fucking deal, Shit, over in India, have you seen the fucking Indian porn that comes out of that motherfucker? India's the fucking background fucking country of fucking Kama Sutra and shit. Them motherfuckers invented the goddamn sex positions over there. They got fucking sex positions I never even fucking seen. Shit, my fucking fat ass can't fucking do. I couldn't contort my body the way they fucking can. Shit. But I'm saying all these other countries are so fucked up when it comes to, well, we got discontinuous because we have license issues in this country. So the notable movies and TV shows that are being removed, and this is not all of them. So if you live in the UK, if you live in Europe, guess what? You're not going to be able to watch or own Terminator 2, the Rambo series, which is First Blood and Rambo 3, Apocalypse Now, Hot Fuzz, Paddington and Paddington 2, the Bridget Jones series, Moonlight, the John Wick series, Total Recall, Pan's Labyrinth, Evil Dead 1 and 2, Highlander, Dust to Dawn, Cliffhanger, The Graduate, Sleepy Hollow, The Beatles, 8 Days a Week, Touring Years, and 500 and some other more. Implications for users. No refunds or replacements. Sony has confirmed that users will not receive compensation for the removed content. Digital ownership limitations. This highlights the risk of digital purchases as buying content on the PlayStation only grants a revocable license, not permanent ownership. Physical media recommendations. Many users are returning to DVDs, Blu-rays, or DRM-free digital copies to ensure permanent access. Previous removals. Sony has conducted similar purchases in the past, including 314 titles from in Germany and 137 in Australia in 2022, and Discovery content in 2020. So, yeah. No compensation, revocable licensing. Now, that's another worry here in the States, and other people should have worldwide. Not just with movies, but also with video games too. I've been seeing an awful lot of games being delisted from fucking stores recently for no reason. And they still got them up there. It's like, oh, you can play this game on here, but, well, guess what? You can't because it's not on the store or digital anymore. You got to find a physical copy. That is, if you can find a physical copy anywhere. That is, if they make a physical copy of it anywhere. So that's a big worry right there. It's like, not only are they, okay, now, they have been releasing free-to-play games for the last 10 years or so. And a lot of them come and gone. A lot of them are really great games that people love playing. But guess what? They delisted them and shut the servers down because nobody's playing the games anymore. Really? 200 people is nobody? If you got 200 people that are still using your fucking servers, keep the fucking game up. People still like playing that shit. You got games on there that, you think nobody wants to play anymore. It's an old fucking game. Let's delist it from the fucking store. But what if somebody wanted to play a copy of fucking Madden 19, you know? Maybe Madden 19 was better than Madden 26 or 27. Why you gotta fucking delist shit? Luckily, for right now, anything that does get delisted from the store on Xbox or PlayStation, as long as you have purchased it and it's installed on your console or whatever, or in your list, you can install it as many times as you want. You can play it to your heart's content. But how long before companies like Microsoft and Sony, and even Nintendo, how long before they do that fucking purge with video games? They're already fucking purging movies in Europe. How long before they start doing video games? How long before they start doing music? Key dates. Notifications sent to users late June 2026. Effective removal date September 1st, 2026. Users who have purchased any of the affected movies are advised to watch or download them before the removal date if possible, as access will be permanently revoked from PlayStation Library. Again. Why? All because you have licensing fucking issues? You can't really compensate people who just lost out $5,000 possibly, or anything up to that amount? Hell, recently, within the last 3 or 4 months, the game Anthem from EA, the servers went down. The game is completely unplayable. And guess what? Anybody who bought that fucking game up front, they're not going to get that $60 back. They're not going to get their money back for the DLC that came out for that game. I bought it when it was on sale, I think 5-6 years ago. I bought the DLC when it was on sale a year or two after that. I was on sale for like $10. I only played it maybe a handful of times. I didn't really invest a whole lot of time into it, but you know what? It was heartbreaking to know that, hey, games like this are DRM based. And if you're online only, there's no offline play. Once a game gets obsolete like that, and it's over. That's why shit like that, when it comes to digital media, that's why people are making a comeback for physical copies. So let's see. Music, vinyl, and revival. Vinyl records are at the forefront of the physical media resurgence. In the U.S., vinyl sales have reached $1.4 billion in 2025, surpassing CD revenue in the fifth consecutive year with 46.8 million units sold compared to 29.5 million CDs, which continued to decline in both revenue and units sold. However, 6-7 years ago, we were told that CDs were going to become obsolete. Nobody's going to buy music CDs anymore. I think Target took all their stuff out. Best Buy definitely took all their stuff out. They're not selling movies and music anymore. Walmart, however, are selling what they have. You look at Walmart's section, back in the electronics, you'll find vinyl records. You'll find albums on CD. And for the first time, I saw this months ago for the first time, I pointed out to Nicole. They had albums there that were explicit. Remember 20, 30 years ago, you couldn't buy an explicit album. It was always amended, which means no cussing. All the bad words were fucking bleeped out and shit. Now you could buy a fucking album in there on CD. You could buy an album of Korn, like, fuck, shit, ass bitch. That's fucking funny that Walmart is selling explicit content for the first time, I guess, ever. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, certain places are still selling CDs. There's even places like one spot that I go to called the Vintage. It's called the Vintage. And it's like a thrift store or pawn shop, whatever you want to call it. He has rows of fucking audio CDs. If I want a fucking audio CD, shit, I can go down there and buy music CDs, man. They still make blank CDs. I can make fucking audio CDs up the ass for my stereo. Same thing with DVDs. Same thing with VHS tapes. As a matter of fact, within the last few months or so, or last couple of years, I started collecting again VHS movies on VHS. Not just collecting them, we watch them as well. Shit, I'm going to do a video for you guys here sometime soon, but if you look at my fucking wall, I got over 108 movies on VHS. I got around I got around 108 movies on VHS tape. I just had to put fucking shelves up just to fucking make room. But yeah, I got movies on VHS. I got movies on DVD. I even hit a fucking thrift store recently. I did a thrift store find. You guys can find that. You guys can find that video on the channel. And I bought movies on VHS for like $2 a pop. Shit, can't beat that. You know, with the way, you know, a lot of these platforms are purging movies off of their platforms, delisting them, taking them out of your convenience. Especially when you can't find certain movies on certain platforms. Let me tell you something. Out of all the fucking streaming platforms that I have or that I've used, Netflix, Peacock, whatever, you know, none of them have the Super Mario Brothers live action movie, but I have it on VHS. You mean to tell me a movie like this, even though it was so fucking bad, but people still enjoy it? I have it on VHS, and you don't have it on a fucking streaming platform. But yet last night, Nicole and I sat through a fucking piece of shit on Tubi called Water Park Shark about fucking sharks that get into a fucking water park and start eating people and shit. Yeah, you'll have movies like that on there, but you won't have something that I'm probably looking for that's fucking 30-some years old, but you can't find it anywhere on any streaming platform. But let's see, also, people are starting to buy books again, apparently. Remember 10 years ago, almost 15 years ago, when they started introducing these ebooks, tablets that are made specifically for reading books and magazines on, and then of course they added apps to your phone to where you could buy books digitally and you could read them at your convenience on a cell phone. Maybe that's why books are becoming obsolete from libraries. That's why they're being liquidized or liquidated or whatever the fuck the word is. That's why I didn't see so many books in the library when I went. Nobody's checking books out anymore. Because either they're finding them online to read digitally, or maybe nobody's reading anymore. Everybody's relying on movies, TV shows, and music and stuff like that for their entertainment. But apparently books are making a comeback. Cultural and psychological drivers. The resurgence of physical media is not purely nostalgic. Younger generations, including Gen Z and millennials, are embracing tangible formats as a counterbalance to digital overload. Physical media offers permanence, intentionality, and tactile engagement, which digital files and streaming cannot replicate. Collecting vinyl, books, or film cameras allow users to connect with the creative process and experience a sense of ownership and identity. And I can relate to that. Because let me take you guys back a little bit. Let's go back 35 years, maybe even 40 years. Remember when the first Blockbuster video opened up in your hometown, or maybe near your hometown? Every Friday night, every Saturday night, your parents take you out to dinner, or you have dinner at home, and you're looking for a movie to watch. There's nothing on cable, you really don't own anything, but you have a VCR. You and your family go out to that little building with the blue awning and those yellow labels, those yellow letters, that big old sign that said Blockbuster Video. You walk in, just that smell, the aroma of the place, you know you're in a comfortable zone. You're like, wow, this is a movie store. You smell of popcorn and everything else. And you're looking down each aisle. You have a kids section. You got a section for action, comedy, horror, drama, whatever. All movies on VHS that you can find. And all you had to pay for was the rental price of, what, $1 a night? So you pick out so many movies that you can watch in a weekend. Maybe even buy a bag of popcorn or buy a couple packs of candy. You go home and you make the best of it. Blockbuster Video. My family and I did that. Actually, my dad, not only did he rent out movies, he was dubbing them too. He made copies. So many movies from Blockbuster. He knew how to dub them. And we had copies upon copies of movies. But it was still a fun experience. To go into a Blockbuster, to shop around. Same thing when you walk into a store 30, 40 years ago. Even 20-some years ago when DVDs and Blu-rays were a thing. You go around, you're shopping around. It's like just the experience of looking down a video aisle. Looking at all these movies on racks. Just standing there, looking at the box art, reading what the movie's about on the back of it, and deciding if you really want to buy that movie. Just the experience of it, You can't get that experience if you're sitting on a couch with a remote in your hand, flipping through Netflix or Peacock, and say, I don't know if this movie looks interesting or what. They're playing a small trailer bit for the movie. I don't know if I want to check it out or not. It's a dull experience. It really is, to sit on a couch until you're able to find a fucking movie you want to watch. Let's say you're sitting there for like 10 minutes and you don't know what the fuck you want to watch. Because to you, a lot of it looks uninteresting. You don't have no interest in it at all. But at least if you go out and you're standing there looking at these movies and you're like, oh, that looks interesting. It could be a piece of shit after you watch it, but it looks interesting. The box art looks promising. It looks like a good horror movie. It looks like a good action movie, you know? Just the experience that you have with going out and exploring and being with people, you know? That's what kids are looking for nowadays. And it's good to see that. It's good to see that you know, kids are not they don't want to sit there and stick to their phone and watch Netflix or Hulu. Because let me tell you guys something. And my buddy Jeff, he said this years ago. He said this 10 years ago about people who were making a living on YouTube and Twitch doing what they were doing. I'm going to pretty much quote him. One day, all these streaming platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Netflix, Peacock, Disney, all of them. One day, all these programs, all these apps, all these platforms, they're going to be obsolete. They're not going to be there anymore. They're going to be bought out. They're going to be shut down, whatever. Then where are you going to be? Then where will you be? You're going to feel lost. You're not going to know what to do. You just have maybe about 100 movies on Netflix, you know, at the click of your fingers. And all of a sudden, it's gone. So there goes those 100 movies that you had access to very conveniently. Where are you going to watch those movies at? Hulu? Huh. Hulu's next. And AMC. It's a whole domino effect. When one goes, the others are bound to go with it. It's going to happen. That's why I think we shouldn't. Goddamn microphone. That's why I think physical media is and should be making a comeback. Because one day, and it's coming, one day, it's all going to disappear. You're not going to have a fucking movie to watch. You're not going to have a video game to play. You're not going to have a song to listen to. You're not going to have an e-book to read. Because all those services are going to be obsolete. Suppose somebody like China had a way of destroying our internet interface. Find a way to cut off our source of global internet to this country. I'm sure there's a way. I don't know much about it, but take a look at the New York the blackout of New York in the 1970s, the New York blackout. Shit, imagine if you lost power. Maybe you had a backup generator to generate some power for you. But if you want to watch some TV, guess what? You ain't got the internet. You ain't got Netflix. You ain't got Hulu. What's the best form of entertainment that you can have if you have any kind of resource of power? Shit, you got movies on tape, movies on DVD, you got music on CD, music on cassettes. You got physical media will still be here 10, 15 years from now. I know when my daughter, after she's born, when she grows up, oh, trust me, she's going to know what it's like to have physical media. And I'm going to see that she appreciates why we have it. Because it's an art. It's an art. In conclusion, when streaming and digital formats dominate overall media consumption, physical media is experiencing a meaningful revival, particularly records, books, and other collectible formats. This resurgence is driven by younger consumers' desire to tactile, intentional experiences, the cultural value of ownership, and the enduring appeal of analog media in a digital world. CDs may remain a niche collectible, but vinyl and print are clearly thriving as a part of a broader physical renaissance. It truly is. I have a shit ton of movies on VHS. God damn. I hate when this thing staggers. I don't know what the hell's going on. I have a ton of movies on DVD. I have a ton of games on CD. Maybe not for the newer console. But let's say Xbox goes out. Yeah, I have over 900 games digital. But if I want to play a video game, I have physical stuff too. Shit, if Xbox were to ever go down, fuck it, I got PS2. I got Dreamcast. I got the Wii. I got emulators on my computer. I got games if I want to play them up the ass. If I want to watch movies, shit, I got movies up the ass. If I want to listen to music, I got music up the ass. I've had music downloaded since the days of Napster. And big shock here, guys, not only, well, they're not making a comeback. MySpace is coming back. I was going to say Napster making a comeback. I don't think Napster will ever make a comeback. But yeah, the days of Napster, BearShare, LimeWire, Kazaa, all those, yeah. I've downloaded a lot of movies through uTorrents. I've downloaded a lot of music through P2P sharing with Napster, all them. I still got all that stuff on my hard drive. I can make physical copies of it. I don't have to worry about Netflix. I don't have to worry about Hulu, Paramount, Disney, Peacock. I don't have to worry about any of that. Even though 25 years ago, 26, 27 years ago, when Napster ruled the world, apps like Napster, BearShare, LimeWire, all that, it influenced what we have today. It evolved into what we have today. Apps such as iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, SiriusXM's been around for a good bit. We've had MP3 players. We have cell phones that you can download or install or you can click and drag music files to. Hell, your cell phone right now in front of you, that motherfucker is several different devices all wrapped into one. You got a phone, you got a miniature computer, you got a camera, you got a music player, you got a movie player, you got a shit ton of stuff in your cell phone, and all in the convenience of your pocket. Think of what we had 30 years ago. Everything that's in your pocket right now. We've had cameras. We've had audio players like CD players and cassette players. We've watched movies on TV. Watched movies on VHS, DVD, and such. It's funny how we took all that technology from 30 years ago, implemented it into one small device that you're holding in your hands right now listening to this podcast. And a lot of that died off. A lot of that died off because of the digital craze. Corporations got greedy. Corporations got cocky. Started implementing all these digital services. Now you got companies out here that are saying, oh, you don't own the licensing to those games or those movies anymore. They're not yours. You don't own them. We have a right to take them back whenever. That's fine. Because guess what? Piracy is back on the rise. You want to take our shit away from us. You want to tell us that we don't fucking own it anymore. Like, bitch, we had people in college that fucking put you guys under in a way. We made the fucking digital era. We made platforms like Amazon Music and iTunes to where you can download and buy music or even get it, have access to it for free. But here's the other problem with that, though. Not every platform has everything you're looking for. And it all has something to do with licensing. If you're looking for one particular album on a certain platform, You're not going to find it. You may find it on YouTube. You may be lucky to find that CD in stores somewhere. But you're not going to find it on these platforms. So no, even when it comes to music, even when it comes to gaming, you're not going to find everything that you're looking for. And you're paying for the shit too. You're paying for something that you're looking for, but it's not even there. So why even pay for it? Why not just go find it and own it physically? Because corporations don't want you to own it. Corporations want your money to go into these digital platforms. And it's all going to come crumbling down in the end, though. Because physical media is on the rise. It's making a comeback. And it's making a big comeback. People who said CDs were obsolete 10 years ago, that they were going to stop making CDs, I still see them. From time to time, I still see them. Walmart still sells them. They're still making vinyl records. Hell, there's even some bands that are releasing albums on fucking cassette. Pretty soon, I'm pretty sure 8-track will make a fucking comeback too. Let's bring back 8-track. I used 8-track when I was younger. Probably not the best, but it's still physical format. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. That's almost 3 hours in. I know this stream has been kind of lagging for you guys a little bit. I just don't know why. Pain in the ass. Maybe it's my internet. Maybe it's my computer. I don't fucking know. It keeps saying some of my resources are being eaten up. That's why my stream is lagging. I do apologize, guys, but I hope you guys were here for most of the stream, talking about it. Everything from, physical media to the dangers of AI, and of course going on to talking about a topic for tomorrow on my buddy Jeff's channel. Once again, if you guys are not following him on there, check out his channel, Jeff Explores. Tomorrow I'll be live with him for his Triggered podcast. I'm not too sure what he's going to talk about. We could be talking about what I've spoke of today, or we could be talking about something different. I'm not going to call here. It is his show. So just make sure you guys follow and check out Trigger Podcast tomorrow on his channel. I will put updates on Twitter. I'll put updates on Discord for you guys. Be able to check that out. Also, like I said at the beginning of the stream, live tonight. Well, not live tonight. It's going to be posted tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are up late, I will be posting publicly episode 1 of Get the Lead Out, Led Zeppelin retrospect, remembering 100.7 The Bay, Baltimore's classic rock. So, guys, be sure to be here for that episode tonight. And I am out of here. Thank you guys once again. If you guys made it to the end of the show, please leave a like and subscribe down below if you guys enjoy the content. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you on the flip.
What we do here is go back.